It's a long road home from Tucson, Arizona. 15 straight hours in a car, not quite fixed enough for air conditioning. In the middle of summer, it's a one-way heat wave. I watch as flat desert sands turn to towering golden grass mountains that bend back into soft, green rolling hills. And I'm back home. After 15 hours of self-talk, I quit my dreams of being a psychologist to make that trip across disenfranchisement when I looked at the world and said, you are so full of broken people. I could spend a lifetime of one-on-one sessions and never make a difference in any of you, and too often group therapy's a lie. Too often I find Deborah, so proud of her pain, she repeats the same thing every week with different words, sitting next to Richard, who disowned his gay son and acts like he's the victim while his own flesh and blood is out on the streets, and the leader of these things always feels like he's forming a cult. Charismatic motherfucker he is. Just never quite had the drive to hurt others, but damn does he love to feel superior, to be in control. And I guess you could call all these things facts. I think of them as illusions. You could call them projections of my own subconscious. I'm just judging myself for wearing different faces when aren't we all the same thing to start with? And that's why I quit psychology. I don't need to understand you to understand what you want, which is to feel loved, appreciated, accepted for all the shit inside your subconscious, but your methods of getting these things gets twisted by all the pain and bad days that you either forced yourself through or you didn't, or beat you down until you had no breath to live with, and either way you're still winded up here, still buzzing like a tinker toy, self-taught to look at others and wish you could be a robot, because at least robots can walk. They don't have to ask strangers to wind up their backs every morning just so they can move, not lay in bed for 12 hours with nothing to do. And I'm sorry, I just caught myself projecting on you, acting like your faults were mine, like my faults were yours. I get it twisted from time to time. I'm trying to get better, but isn't that the point? It's a long ride home from Tucson, Arizona. 15 straight hours in a car with nothing to do but think how I should have stayed, how fast I could re-up my financial aid and beg my mother to move back in. But I met a PhD in psychology once. He took the shape of an old man, a security guard at a supermarket on a lunch break when I worked the fish counter. I told him my dreams, to lay people on couches and have them talk to me. He told me to quit. Said my dream was a pipe fantasy, best smoked and blown out of my mouth, best left to drift in the wind like the words from his boss had been by the organization that fired him. And that's a long-winded way to say that's what brings me here today. To poetry and spoken word. I've spoken words that have saved lives in the past, far more than I ever have reading textbooks, and I don't expect you to believe that. It's not something I'm trying to sell you on. I'm not made of snake oil charms on the tip of my tongue. There's no salvation tucked into these words other than what you choose to make of them all, but it's true. I've done more good reading poems off pages than I've ever done waiting for a boss to notice the fact that the top employee at customer service in his major corporation is me, and that's despite my major depression, and no one seems to notice when I was fired from that job for having a mental illness, so I guess that's who I am. A perpetual state of fuck-uppery, if you judge me off my job history, that is, but I don't see the point in doing that. See, all your history is just three things. 1, the sum of what you were taught to be. 2, what other people allowed you to do. And 3 is just chaos and circumstance, and if that defines me, then yeah, I guess I'm just a quitter. Destined to quit on college, jobs, the entirety of my own existence. A counselor once told me that given the high number of my past attempts, I am a statistical certainty to leave this world by my own hand, and I guess you could call all these things facts. I try to think of them as illusions, things I'm not in touch with. Projections of other people's pain on my shoulders. There's a lot of people out there who want to see cracks in my soul with words, but I'm learning I don't have to be the white tarp backdrop for the thoughts of others. It's a long ride home. For feeling like I'm not made broken, but I'm learning. The truth is, there's nothing I can tell you if you don't already believe. I've always been whole.